Right, see, in the last classes we completed penetration of European companies into India. Next we completed the conquest of British East India Company. Then we completed consolidation of British East India Company. And the third one we completed is what? The British relations with the neighboring states. So we completed Nepal. Okay, and we completed with what? Burma, Afghanistan, and we even discussed about the Tibet and Bhutan also, relation with what? And the most, I told that in the last classes, mostly UPSC will give 1 or 2 questions. At max, whatever topics we completed, 1 or 2 questions. So the most important topic as far as prelims is concerned is what? So I did, so company. So British East India Company rule. So that is from what? 57 to 1857. Okay, so British East India Company rule. So this part we divided into 3 parts. Okay, so the rule of British East India Company we divided into what? 3 parts. So British Acts. I told most important. British Acts. And told. And these 2 parts are what? Administration in India. So I told 57 to 1813. The part is called mercantile phase. Mercantile phase. So this part industrial phase. So the administration is divided into 2 parts. Okay, we will discuss. And this administration, okay, so the administration in India is influenced by what? So the administration in India is influenced through the British Acts. So first I will discuss what? Acts, then I will discuss the administration, so that you will understand the difference and the relation also. Okay, so first put the heading. Put the heading. So you put the heading. British East India. So British Parliament Acts or whatever. So I will put the heading as changing relation between. So changing relation between British Parliament or British and East India Company. So the heading is changing relation between. So how the relation is changing? Through the acts only. Through the acts. Changing relation between British Parliament and what? Acts. See, now tell me, what is the permission that, say in 1600, Queen Elizabeth I, right? Queen Elizabeth I, what permission that it has given to company? The charter. Okay, what is the charter? Only what? Only trading license. Did it say that you conquer India? Did it say that you do battles? So in 1600, the charter is only talking about what? Only trading rights. Clear? So in 1600, the East India Company is only having what? Trading rights. It has to do only what? Trading. But 1764, what happened in 1764? Battle of Buxar. East India Company became, after Battle of Buxar, East India Company became, Bengal came under whose control? East India Company. That means Bengal, who is the owner of Bengal? So East India Company became what? Did the Queen given permission for this political power? No. Got it right. And there is also, see, permission is given for this one, but company became what? Political power. But there is also in England, see, all this happening in India, but in England there is also growing suspicion. Growing suspicion in England, there is a growing suspicion that something is happening in India. Something is fishy. Okay, so they feel that something is happening in what? In India, in England. There is something happening in India. The company going to what? India. How they are feeling that something has happening? Okay, so they need to be fire, then only smoke is there, right? So England lo entante company India lo edo chestundi. They don't know what it is doing. Okay, they don't know that. Say, did I say that I told that dual Robert Clive, the mastermind of Robert Clive, no one knows that Bengal was conquered by EIC until there is a great famine in what? Bengal, 1770s. Got it right. So no one knows. That company is doing something in India. How they know? You're right. Company officials. Company officials. Officials means who are working in the company. They are going to, so they are huge resources. So they are going to India with huge resources. Company officials, not company. See, the people who are working in the company, they are coming to India. It's about Robert Clive. He came to India. He worked in India. When he returning to the England, he is going with the huge resources. So that made something suspicion that something is happening in India. What it is? So Robert Clive, how they are getting money? How the officials are getting money? Private trade, briberies, corruption. Got it right? So all this, they are acquiring what? Huge resources. And they are going to London. And they are showcasing their money. And the person with no background, poor background, he went to India and he returned to England with what? Rich background. So this created what? Suspicion. This was not known. This was not known. This created suspicion. That is what? See, the company officials were named as Naboobs. So the corrupted name of Nawab. See, Nawab and Indi? Nawab is a name given to what? Who is the big enough royal person, Jamindar, in that Nawab. But they were called as what? Naboobs. Okay. So it is a corrupted name of what? No. That means they are showing them that you are not earning this money in a rightful way. Clear? Clear kada. But so who has to take care? Who has to control the company? Parliament has to take control. Government. Parliament is what? Government only. So government has to control the company affairs in India. Got it right? So something is happening in India because of this one, and government permission is given for what? Trading rights, but it became what? Political power. Who has to take actions or who has to regulate the affairs? Government. But government has, so you can write, no political will. So in the initial time, okay, so the British Parliament, they have no political will. See, for taking actions, there need to be some political will. So there is no political will in the Parliament. And they diverted the issue, you know, right? If there is no political will, they will divert the issue. If something happening, very big issue also, they will divert the issue. So they were diverted the issue. Inside divert. How they diverted? So they diverted that company is good. The misgovernment of company in India is because of corrupted officials. Not all the officials are corrupt. What it is? So they diverted the issue. You read. Misgovernment in India by company. What it is? So misgovernment in India company is because of corrupted officials. So they are saying is what? Company is good. There is no illegal activities that is company is doing and all. Is this clear? See, this background is important because of the acts you will read every time you will read Regulating Act, Pitt's India Act, Charter Act, you will forget. If you understand this background, it will be very easy. Got it right? Changing relation, permission is given to for this, but they became political power, and the officials are also going with huge money. It created suspicion, but there is no political will. Continue. So 1764. Oh, got it right. 1764. No, after 1764. Continue. 1765. Robert Clive established dual government. Right? Robert Clive established what? Dual government. No action taken. So Robert Clive established dual government. See, what is this dual government? So Diwan got into the Nizamat. So Diwan means what? Revenue collection rights. Diwan means what? Revenue collection rights. It is with whom? Yes. EIC. Nizamat means what? Administration rights. It is with whom? Nawab. It is with what? Nawab. It is with Nawab, right? So with this dual government, what they established? East India Company has all powers, but no so they put the responsibility as who said? Nawab. They created the face of the Nawab, but all the powers means what? Military is with whom? Military is with whom? East India Company. Revenue collection right is with whom? East India Company. So with this, what they are doing? They are doing open plundering. They are doing what? Open plundering. They are purchasing with, see, they go to the farmers, the private, company officials, like they are the masters, right? They go to the farmers and they will buy the goods from the farmers at whatever rate they wish. What it is? So can the farmers do anything? They cannot. If they move to the Nawab also, who is the Nawab? Puppet of what? East India Company also. They cannot do. So what happened? Because of this, because of the complex nexus, it should not be there. Nexus, the complex nexus between governance and trade. The complex nexus between governance and trade. See, trade and governance should be separated. Then only, otherwise what the traders will do? They will use the administration for their profit. See, what is the main motto of the governance? Better administration. The main motto of the trade? Profits. Got it right? So both are contradictory. Because of this nexus, what happened? Huge corruption. Huge corruption by the officials. Huge corruptions. Officials, how huge corruptions? Private trade. See, what is this private trade?
Officials are doing separate trade.
See, actually, trade has to do by what? Company. Whatever they are purchasing the goods, it should go in name of company. Then the profits, whatever the profits coming, it will go into the accounts of company. But what they are doing is, they understood this one. They were using the other's name. They were using the other's name. In their name, they are sending the goods to you. Got it right? So whatever profit, it goes to who? Official. Not into what? Company's account. This is what private trade. And you write huge corruption. Private trade is one huge corruption. The misuse of dastak and all. Private trade. Next, briberies. Got it right? And selling of dastak to the local people. So all this what? Huge corruption. That is what? Who are becoming rich? Officials are becoming rich, not company. Got it right? Officials are becoming what? Rich, not company. So this is one thing. Next one. Because of this huge corruption and misadministration, 1770s in Bengal, what happened? Great famine. Not 1/3 of the people perished. Great famine. So now everyone will look at what? Bengal, right or wrong? Until now, no one will look at the Bengal. Now everyone look at in what? Bengal. There is something happening. Who is doing administration in Bengal? Okay, who is doing atrocities in Bengal? It is East India Company. Got it right? Now it is a bad mark on British, right or wrong? A British company came to one area and it exploited that area. It is a bad mark on what? British. Now it has to take care. What it has to take care actions against what? Company. Initially it diverted to whom? Officials. Correct. But because of this incident, it has to take care what? Next, another important thing is, by this time only, the East India Company came under losses. East India Company. See, I told company servants are getting huge profits, huge resources, but company become what? Losses. It almost went to bankruptcy also. Company what? Bankruptcy, losses. So it went for loan. 10 lakh pounds. It went to what? The Bank of England. It went for a loan, Bank of England. For what? 10 lakh pounds. Now the Parliament got a chance to interfere. Right or wrong? No Parliament got chance to interfere because there is something is happening that world is knowing that because of Bengal famine, and you also company. See, company officials is coming with what? Huge resources, company in losses. That means there is something is happening. Now Parliament has to what? Interfere. So Parliament in this it created a select committee. In 1772, a committee was created to look into the affairs of the company in India. A select committee was created. So this committee has 3 main important questions to deal with. The company has given the mandate. Suppose finance commission is created. So finance commission gives the terms of references on which parameters you have to work. Got it right? So it has given 3 important questions to work on. It has given 3 important questions to work on, and based on these 3 important questions only act will give. What it is? So the company will give a report, and this first question, what is the permission that East India Company has given? Sorry, Parliament has given to East India Company? Trading rights. Now it became relations changed. I given for trading rights political power. So now first one, defining the new relation between. First question is defining the new relation between British Parliament and British East India Company. Defining the new relation between. The second question, defining the new relation between. Right. Next one. So the court of directors. See, company ki evaru untaru? Company generally have what? Directors. So the directors is the owners of the company. They will reside in which place? England. The company is in which place? India. So the officials in India, because of lack of control by these directors, the officials in India doing what? Use private trade and corruption. How to assert a strong control by government on Indian officials? The second question. Got it? Second question is what? How to asset strong control on Indian officials by company. So company అంటే ఎవరు? Court of Directors. Company ఎక్కడ ఉంది? In England or British. How to assert control over the Indian officials because they are doing huge corruptions because of lack of control by the company directors. Next question. Third, in India, Bengal one presidency, Bengal have one head, Madras one presidency, Madras have another head, Bombay presidency. See, when the company directors want to send the information, they have to send to Madras, Bengal and Bombay also. And there is no unity of command. Okay, so now they want to create in India, there is one point of center. They want to create one point of center for the contact between what? Company and what? India. They want to create, you right, third one. Create a center authority in India for better communication and coordination. Better communication and coordination. So until now clear? No. See, because of this committee, see, suppose if there is any issue happening in India, if government made any committee, it become a hot topic in the India. There is a debates and discussions. It will be divided into groups for it. So no, right? The issue become hot topic. The issue become hot topic in the Britain politics. It became a hot topic in the Britain politics. So the affairs of the company and its losses, the officials are getting huge resources, and Bengal famine, it became a hot topic in the Britain politics. So what will happen? This led to emergence of two groups in the Britain higher authorities. Two groups evaru undochu? Yes, one is the supporters. Yes, company has right to monopoly, company can do anything, it has a monopoly, it used its resources to conquer, got it right? So company with his own money do battles and conquer the Bengal. What is wrong? And another one is saying that no, company is only thing is what? Trading, it should not interfere in the politics. So it divided into two groups. One is what? Opponents. What they will say? End of monopoly rights. End of monopoly. You should not give the monopoly to the company to do trading with the what? East of the Cape of Good Hope. You should end. You should allow all the companies. You should give what? Free trade. So the opponents. Then the other group. Supporters. వాళ్ళేం చెప్తారు? Continuation of monopoly. They will say continuation of what? The monopoly. Water bottle. Continuation of monopoly. So write on the opponent side. Who are the main opposers? Who are the main opponents? First one. Aristocracy class. See why they are opposing, right? Aristocracy class, landlords, feudal lords. Aristocracy means what? Landlords and feudal lords. See, they are the dominant class. In ancient medieval time, who are the dominant class? Landlords are the dominant class, feudal lords are the dominant class. Because of this business class, now their dominance is decreasing. Now business class become dominant. They were entering into the politics. Okay, so with their huge resources, they become the dominant class. You right? Why they are opposing? The new emerging class, that is business class, become the dominant class. It is a threat to. Yes. So initially, most of the workers will work on the farms of this feudal lords. Initially, peasants. ఎక్కడ వర్క్ చేసేవాళ్ళు? No, it is not factories. It is they are working in what? They are not factories. వాళ్ళు ఏం చేస్తారంటే initially they were bounded labor. Now they are giving cheap money and working for what? Like goods తెచ్చి feudalism to capitalism. So aristocracy was not happy. Next one. ఇంకెవరు? Manufacturers. Manufacturers were not happy. Why manufacturers are not happy? Manufacturer class, industrialist class. If you want, you can write industrialist class. Is there any difference between business class and industrialist class? Yes. So they will buy the goods. Okay. Yes. See, they are purchasing the Indian goods at cheap prices, and they are dealing in India and they are selling in England also cheap price and all. It is a threat to which class? Manufacturing class, because the industrial revolution not at strong. Industrial revolution what? Not at strong. Their goods are not competing with the cheap goods that is coming from India. Got it? So manufacturing class is demanding what? Free trade. Got it? Free trade. Now they want to sell their goods in India also. Right? Manufacturing class demanding what? Free trade. And ruling class also not happy. Why ruling class is not happy? And politicians. Why ruling class is not happy? See, the ruling class is unhappy because the business class may use the money power in politics so that they can get their supporters into parliament. So you're right, the ruling class were not happy because they used the money power in politics. They used also, they made many of the politicians to come into what? Into the parliament, and they supports the East India Company because they have huge resources. Right? So these are the opponents. Now, the supporters. The company has one big support, that is George III, because he is also having stakes. The company is having what? The crown. Crown, king. So the king is the main supporter of EIC. George III is the main supporter, and some parliamentarians, because of their money, they entered company supporters. Got it? Now, under this background, Parliament has to take actions against company. Got it right? So now Parliament has to take the wishes of whom? These people also. On the other hand, Parliament has to take care of the wishes of kings. Parliament suddenly cannot end the monopoly of company, because as they are demanding that end of monopoly, they cannot end because the company has also supporters. Got it right? And they cannot continue the atrocities of the company in India, so that Parliament has no right because they don't accept. So what is the thing? They came with the formula of compromise. So middle part, the formula of compromise. It has to satisfy. So the Parliament has to satisfy the demands of all the groups. Otherwise they will revolt. So this is what the biggest. Got it right? So whenever there is an act and all, some people don't like few provisions, some people don't like few provisions, then why it has? Because of this one. Parliament for what? Compromise. So what is the compromise? Regulating Act. So the first act is what? The Regulating Act. So Parliament passed the act. So this act has the provisions of, this act has a provisions of what? Appease the supporters, appease the opponents. Who is strong? No, supporters are strong. King. Got it right? So ikkada raskondi. See, kavalante ikkade raskondi. See, then why I wrote, see, aristocracy class, their power declined, still there. Decline. Manufacturing class, they are not dominant because industrial revolution is not dominant. So the opponents are not strong. Appudu act tilt towards supporter. When opponents become strong, acts tilt towards. See, this you should remember. Got it right? See, regulating act, Pitt's India Act, they were tilted towards supporters. 1813 Act, they tilt towards opponent. They become strong. Got it right? So the manufacturers, because of peak of industrial revolution, we will discuss each act. I will discuss the background. Then you will discuss these groups. You should understand. Then you will understand what is the provisions. Got it right? What is the provision? So this act has compromise. That means it has to oppose. It has to appease whom? Opponents. So some provisions will appease whom? Opponents. Some provisions will appease supporters. But overall it tilted towards supporters. This is important. First one. Select committee undi kada. Select committee. What are the three questions that is with select committee? Because the act is based on select committee, right? What is? No. Order. Defining the new relation. Then how to have control over India by company in England. Next, creating a point of central. Got it right? So first, the new relation. Got it right? So the new relation, it said British Parliament has a right to regulate. No, Indian affairs, not company affairs. Company is what? Company has many factors. Indian affairs of company. So Parliament has right to interfere. Parliament has right to regulate. That is what the act name is what? Regulate. First time British Parliament said it has a right to regulate. That is what the name is made as Regulating Act, not Charter Act. First question clear? What is the new relation? Parliament can regulate. Okay. How it will regulate? Second one. So Parliament said, I will regulate to appease the opponents. Okay. I will, from now onwards, I will regulate the affairs of country. I will see it is working in legal. How it regulate? It said that the court of directors, who are court of directors? The owners of the company. Okay. It said that the court of directors has to submit the annual reports of the company, to British Parliament. This is how he said, I will regulate. Okay, so I will scrutinize. Got it right? So I will scrutinize the accounts. What COG will do? The government, whatever the government spending, COG will do the auditing and it will give to what? Parliament. Parliament will scrutinize. What it is? So this is how it said, company affairs in India will scrutinize in this way. Clear? Now, third point. So third point. It said that there is a point of center. In India, there should be a point of center and the court of directors, so that it has a better connection. It has what? A better connection. So the Governor of Bengal, among the three presidency, which is most important presidency. So that is why it made Bengal Governor as the Governor General of Bengal. So the Governor of Bengal was made as Governor General of Bengal. The Governor of Bengal was made as Governor General of Bengal. And I told why Bengal. Because Bengal is the province which was under their control. Not remaining to Madras. Who is the first Governor General of Bengal? Warren Hastings. In bracket you write. In bracket you write the first Governor General of Bengal is what? Warren Hastings. See, don't by heart, understand the concept. All the provisions you will read in Lakshmikant also, but you will forget. And you will confuse also. So this is how, what it is. So what are the questions that have? And there. See, second question, second question is how to assert control of company in Indian officials, right? So there you write. See, it created, see, if only Governor General of Bengal, he become powerful, right or no? Only one point of center, he become powerful, he become the ruler in India. So it created Governor General Council with 4 members. The members will come from the England. Got it? So the 4 members, total 4 members. One is Governor General of Bengal. Another 3 members will come from what? England. They will take the decisions in India. They will take the decisions in India. 4 members. Suppose if they want to do war with, see, if they want to do war with Maratha, Governor General of Bengal cannot take action. They have to sit and discuss, voting for the 4. If 3 agreed, then the war. If not, no war. Clear? And if one person, if he is corrupt, what will happen? Corruption. In 4 persons, if 2 are strong, they will inform 2. Got it? So 3 questions are, see, 3 questions. Clear? No. Supporters. To appease the supporters. To oppose the supporters. First one. So the supporters. See, company invested so much of money, adventurism and all. It came to India, it built an empire, at least Bengal. Suddenly, British Parliament grabbing their power. Is it right or wrong? Wrong, right? So it said 20 years monopoly. It has given the 20 years monopoly to British East India Company. So next 20 years, it is your monopoly. I will regulate. It said I will regulate, but you have monopoly. Otherwise, the company will not accept. Got it right? All other companies will also not see what will happen. The England economy will disturb because the company don't want to do investment, don't want to do this adventurism and all. Got it right? So suddenly, if any company, suppose suddenly Reliance become a top company in India, government said this company become top, it will nationalize. Will any person in India do a business in India? He want to do big business. Got it right? So that is what this also important. So 20 years of what? Monopoly. Continue. So regulating act, mention this one. Next one. Next one. So the court of directors has the right to appoint Indian officials. So the court of directors has the right to Indian officials. It can choose whosoever it wants. Okay, so that they can do the better for the business. So 20 years of what? Indian officials and Governor General. No, Parliament can also appoint also, right? See, court of directors means is a company owners. So who will has the right to appoint? Company owners. Not British will not interfere in the appointment of Governor General or Council of 4. British will not interfere. Only British said what? British Parliament said what? I will regulate. How will regulate? You just submit the report. I don't interfere in the company affairs. Okay. And this is wrong also. I told right, this is wrong. Companies involving in the company's affairs is wrong also. So it said monopoly continued and you have right to appoint your officials. Then who will regulate? Governor General of Bengal and Council are under whose control? Court of Directors or British Parliament? Court of. Got it right. So they were under the control of Court of Directors. Or they were regulated కావచ్చు. ఏదైనా కానీ ఎవరు చేస్తారు? So only one point it said British Parliament will regulate. Remaining entire will be controlled by Court of Directors, the owners. Court of Directors and the owners. Until here clear? Okay, so now, is this act is effective?
No.
Why it is not effective?
Because the taking place under the previous.
See, this act is not effective. Why? Because it is taking, so the compromise is between not the difference of opinions, it is opponents. Free trade and monopoly. Opponents are, there is some differences. One group, see, the act is not effective because, see, the act is not effective because the monopoly that companies wanted, the free trade, the opponents is asking, is exactly opposite, or some differences is there between them? Is exactly opposite. Okay, if you have to satisfy one group, other group will not happy. Got it? Is so the compromise is a collapse. The compromise is what? Collapse. It won't work because the interest of two groups are exactly opposite. The interest of two groups are exactly opposite. So you write the defects of the act. Defects of the act. Defects of the act. First one. Parliament said it will regulate. Parliament said it will regulate the company affairs. It will supervise the company affairs. Is the supervision and regulation is effective? Every year Parliament have a number of reports. One of the such report is what? Indian affairs. Got it? See, that is what you will read in the polity also. Polity also, the scrutiny of Parliament is what? Very ineffective. Got it? It has no time also. That is why the Parliament will create committees to scrutinize. The only work of the committee is to what? Look after that work. Parliament work is to what? Look after the entire administration. Got it? So first one, what is the drawback? The supervision, scrutiny and regulation is ineffective. Ineffective. Because the reports, Parliament has no time to scrutinize all the reports. See, entire year, this much spending, this much irregularities. Parliament has no time, and Parliament, you know, right? How will they work? The main thing of Parliament is what? Important issues of national, not the company. So this is ineffective. Got it? So the main purpose of the act is to regulate, and the main purpose also defeated. So next one. Next one. See, initially, Governor of Bengal, Governor of Madras, Governor of Bombay. Is there independent in nature or any head? Independent. They all feel they are the heads. Now suddenly one among them, that is Governor of Bengal, become the head. Will they accept? No. So the provincial, now they become provincial government, they become central government. What it is? So they become subordinates, he become what? Center. So now they're using, you write, third point. Sorry, this right. Now the provincial governors using the vague words. Sorry, the provincial governments. Who are provincial governments? Bombay and Madras. They are using the vague words in the act. They are using the vague words in the act. So act as the act during this time you should listen the words of the Governor General of Bengal, remaining time you are free. They are using the vague words and using their autonomy. So they are not subordinated. They are not completely subordinated. Got it? So right, using the vague words, in the act, and they are acting independent. Any example? Vague words in the act and behaving independently. Any example? Anglo-Maratha War. First Anglo-Maratha War. So it became what? Warren Hastings became the Governor General, but Bombay started what? War on its own. Mysore also started war. So this example you can write. So the control point of center create in the
Yes.
No, because they are not listening. And third one. Third one. So third one. The Council of Four. Okay. Council of Four unnappudu. If they want to take the decision, they has to get the support of 3. Governor General. Avuna kada. See, Governor General plus how many members? 3 members. Total 4. Governor General plus 3 members. If Governor General of Bengal want to do any action, like Warren Hastings, if Warren Hastings want to do war with Marathas, he has to get the support of 2. Is it difficult or is it? Very difficult. If 1, it is draw. If 2 only, he can do what? Because of voting, right? So, you're right. The Council of 4. The Council of 4. Disunity and disharmony. Disunity and disharmony. Disunity and disharmony among the Council of 4. Disunity and disharmony among the Council of 4 hampered the administration in India. Hamper the administration in India. See, remember all these drawbacks because the next act want to rectify these drawbacks. Got it? So the next act, see what is the first problem? Is supervision is what? Ineffective. Supervision is what? Ineffective. And the rules are not clear and he is not, they are not subordinated. And the third one is what? The Council of 4 hampering the Indian administration. All these 3 were rectified in the coming act. Otherwise, there is no need of doing any act. Got it right? So you write. So under this background, you write. Put the one line. Under this background, the next act was made. Under this background, the next act is made. So what is the next act? Next act is what? Pitt's India Act. See why Pitt's India Act? He is the Prime Minister of the time. He was made a strong act to control the Indian affairs. That is why named on his name. And I told first act, regulating act. Why regulating act? No. First time Parliament said Parliament has a right to regulate the country. That is what the act. Otherwise all are charter acts. Got it? So regulating act. First time British Parliament said. Next Pitt's India Act, because he is the person who made a strong act. From this onwards, the regulation on the company become effective. So Pitt's India Act. Put the heading background. First we will discuss the background, then I will discuss the features. And you should remember the supporters and what? Opponents. Okay, supporters and what? Opponents. Pitt's India Act. Put the heading background. Background means under which circumstances the act came. Okay. So background. First one. The act came because of defects of regulating it. See, I am discussing the concept. You should add remaining provisions. See, in regulating act, there is an establishment of Supreme Court also. You should add all these points. Put it right. So that will disturb the flow of what? The concept. I am not discussing those points. Regulating act, there is one provision called it established the Supreme Court also. There is some drawbacks in establishment of Supreme Court. There is another act called 1781. You have to do the homework and add all points. I am discussing the concept. So background, why this act? Defects. Next one, loss of America by British. One of the important colony was lost by British. Now they were very much strong. The parliament is what? Very much strong to have a great control over India. That is what this act was made. What it is. So they lost what? Now the need of having greater control over Indian colonies has increased. See, initially parliament ఎప్పుడైనా యాక్ట్ చేసినప్పుడు, if the parliament have no political will, how the act will made, we discussed, right? Initially the parliament has no political will. That is why it diverted the issue. Later, because of pressure, it made an act, and the act is what? Having many loopholes. Later, because of the loss of what? America, now parliament want to get strong control over Indian positions, right? Loss of America and need for what? Need for greater control over Indian colonies. Next, again the company came for loan. Second time. Second time, again the company went for loan. Second time. That means still the corruption is high. What did I say? So then the corruption is high. The effective control of court of directors on the Indian officials is less. All this. Under this background, act was made. Okay, so put the heading, provisions of or features. Provisions of Pitt's India Act. Again, it is a compromise or it is a straight away act? It is a compromise or straight away act? It is compromise only. Tilted towards supporters or opponents? Supporters. It is a compromise. Still, who are dominant? Supporters. So again, it is compromise. Again, the act is a compromise to appease what? Opponents, and to appease what? So it has the provisions of both. It has the provisions of what? Opponents. Now, again the first one. First regulating act ఏంటి? Parliament has a right to control, right to regulate అని చెప్పింది. Parliament has what? In regulating act, it said that Parliament has a right to control. ఇక్కడ ఏం చెప్పిందంటే Parliament have supreme authority. Parliament have supreme authority to regulate Indian affairs. Is this provision is same or different? Same only. This provision itself is same. It said Parliament have supreme control. అక్కడ ఏం చెప్పింది? Parliament have right to regulate అంది. Parliament have right to regulate అంది. ఇక్కడ కూడా ఉంది. Higher control ఉందని చెప్పింది. How will differs? See, it said Parliament has right. How Parliament will control? In the regulating act, how Parliament will control the affairs of Indian company? ఎలా చెప్పింది? Every year, the court of directors has to submit the reports to what? Is the control is effective or not effective? Not effective. No. See, understand. This is the difference. See, Parliament said regulate. Parliament has a right to regulate. Regulating act. Parliament has higher అని చెప్పింది. ఎలా చెప్పిందంటే, no, Parliament created board of control, a separate committee for the looking after the affairs of the company. This is the difference. That is what supreme authority. The word supreme authority is what? Initially annually Parliament ఏం చేయాలి? Court of directors has to give the what? So what this board of control will do? The board of control So the parliament has supreme authority to control board of control. It created a separate department. Anukundam. So the board of control will supervise Indian affairs. Indian affairs ante enti? Indian affairs. Indian affairs, that is military, revenue and civil. Whatever the military that was there in India, whatever the revenue that is coming from Indian, and the civil affairs, all will be regulated and supervised by what? Board of control. Board of control. See, court of directors is different from what? Board of control. Clear? So now you tell me, now the supervision is effective or not effective? Effective. What it is? So that is why Pitt's India Act is called as what? The greater control over Indian affairs. Initially also it said regulating. So regulate every year, annual reports. Parliament has no power. Not power, Parliament has no enough time. Next one. Second one. So third, if you, whatever points you can write. Okay, so regulate. Next one. What is the drawback? Next drawback. 3 drawbacks. What it is? 3 drawbacks. First drawback solved. Next drawback. The Council of 4 is hampering the administration in India. Right or wrong? Next drawback is Council of 4 is now the Governor General in Council. How many members? 4. They were reduced to 3. They were reduced to 3. They were reduced to 3. And the 4th. They were reduced to 3. What is the next drawback? The subordinates. The subordinates are using the vague words and using the utter. Now, it said that the provincial governors are subordinate in all matters. Subordinate in all matters. The provincial governors are subordinate in all matters. Did the drawbacks are rectified? Yes. So the drawback, there is enough control of Parliament on company through board of control, and it was reduced to 3, so that now Governor General has to get at least
Support.
1. Got it right? So total and the one number 3. Governor General plus 2. If he get at least the support of 1 decision, he can. Next one. Next, supporters. Next what? Supporters. See, Parliament created a separate board to regulate the affairs of what? The company affairs. Now involved in the company affairs. So now the supporters. See, it said East India Company. See, I am regulating, but the Indian positions, whatever the territory that was there in India, it is you are the owner. Okay. So East India Company have Indian possessions. Whatever you purchase, suppose either a land purchase, suppose it is conquering is also what? The conquering is done by East India Company. British cannot take the land, right? Okay, so whatever the Indian positions, that is with you only. I am not interfering. East India Company only. Got it right? It won't comes under British rule. That is what, see, that is what 1858 we said company rule too. All the Indian positions were now came under Crown. Okay, it came under 1833 itself. We will discuss. Okay, next one. Did all the affairs are regulated by board of control?
No, only military.
Only military and all. Got it right? So company court of directors has right to do the affairs of what? Commercial. Okay, so the company is mainly for what? Commercial purpose. You look after your commercial purpose, trading, it bills. What it is? So how much trade, profit and all, you will regulate. Whatever the military, civil administration. Now Bengal is ruled. There is a ruler for Bengal. They are all administered by what? Board of control. You right. So the court of directors, what they have power over? They were commercial affairs. They have power over commercial affairs. Next one. Who will appoint the Indian officials? Did board of control or court of directors? No, tell me. Indian officials. So suppose Indian official, governor, he will regulate military and all right. Who will appoint? Board of control or court of directors? Meer cheppali. Who is strong? Supporters are strong, opponents are strong. Supporters. But if this power was removed, the company will not accept. Now still, who is appoint? Court of directors. You right. So court of directors has a power to appoint, right to appoint Indian officials. Whosoever they want. See that is what the Indian civil services opened in which year? Who will appoint collectors initially? Court of directors. In 1853 only it made open. Got it right? So because supporters are strong. See why I am writing this point, because I want to make you understand in 1853 it was civil services, it's open for what? Open competition. That means now they don't appoint. It will be based on exam. Next one. Fourth one. Who will control the Governor General in Council? No. Who will control? No. This is, now it was changed. I will see, because see, you will appoint. You only appoint. But I have the supervision power, right? Otherwise, what is the role of this board of control? They will also do the scrutiny only, right? Whatever the works done, instead of parliament, who is doing scrutiny? Is it effective control? No effective control. No. Who will? Dual master. Both. Who will control? Both. Everyone. Court of directors and board of control. Both will regulate what? Governor General, Council and Governor also. Both. Two masters. Two masters. So that is why Pitt's in the act, the name of the dual government. What it writes? See, dual government and ever board of control, court of directors. Board of control will look after civil, military. దాని బదులు ఏం బెస్ట్ ఏది గుర్తుపెట్టుకోవచ్చు? కోర్ట్ ఆఫ్ డైరెక్టర్స్ ఓన్లీ కంట్రోల్ కమర్షియల్. రిమైనింగ్ అని ఎవరు చేస్తారు? Board of control. See, because of these two masters, Pitt's India Act established which one? Dual government, dual control. What is this? Is how you should remember what it is. So Pitt's India Act established the dual control over Indian affairs, and it continued. Ikkada raskondi note ani. It continued until which time? Is it an effective system or not effective? Effective. Continued until which time? Until company ruled. If it is effective, it continued until company rule. Until eppudu varaku? 1858 Government of India Act. Then the Board of Control, Court of Directors were removed. Then it came with the Secretary of State. Got it? Ippudu nenu question adugutu cheppandi. Board of Control and Court of Directors. They will. Who will stay in India? Who will stay in England? Both will stay in England only. But both will control the Indian officials. Clear? Okay. What they will control? Court of Directors. Commercial affairs. What they will control? Because of two masters, dual board. Clear? So this is how the Pitt's India Act. Got it right? Is there any drawbacks in the Pitt's India Act? There is significance. Got it right? Is there any drawbacks? Put the heading. No. Why it is a drawback?
Because they are
See, that is what they write. That is a company. See, in company, I will appoint my own. It is not a government, right? Yes, obviously, this is a company. What it is? So, this is company until who takes. So, first drawback is dual master. What it is? Suppose two groups. Suppose this side board of control, this side court of control. I am the Governor General of Bengal in India. This నేనేం చెప్తా, నేను వార్ చేశాను. I done the war. వీడు అడుగుతారు ఎందుకు వార్ చేసావు? వాళ్ళు చెప్పారు చేశారంటారు. వాళ్ళ దగ్గరికి వెళ్తారు. వాళ్ళు అడిగితే వీళ్ళు చెప్పారు చేశారంటారు. So it give a virtual autonomy to whom? You right. The dual master The dual master given virtual autonomy to whom? Yes. He can do whatever he want. So this given virtual autonomy. So there is no control over the governor. Governor council also. The Indian officials and husband better. Still there is some ineffective regulation on Indian affairs, right? Next one. Council of 3. During emergency time. Okay, in emergency time. Emergency means he has to take very quick decision. Then also enjoy meeting better. See, Governor General of Bengal, he has to take a quick decision. Appudu kuda enjoy meeting better. At least he should convince the one person. Difficult or not difficult? Difficult. Got it right. So you right. The council is still a problem. The council is still a problem during emergency time, not in normal time. The council is still a problem during an emergency time. Ikkada note and pettukondi. See, Pitt's India Act appudu, see there is a person called Cornwallis. See, during this Pitt's India Act appudu, British lost what? US colony, right? When British lost US colony, at that time the commander there was Cornwallis. Cornwallis sent to India mainly to have effective control over India. Appudu Cornwallis పంపించినప్పుడు ఏమన్నాడంటే I need one permission. నాకు ఇలా కౌన్సిల్ మీటింగ్ ఇవన్నీ కుదరవు. I will do whatever I want. Will you give that permission? ఇచ్చారే లేదా? ఇచ్చారు. Okay, it is an extraordinary power given to Cornwallis. He can withhold what? Council also. He can do the veto of the council also. Initially it is only given to whom? Cornwallis, because he is very close to Pitt's India. Later ikkada rasindi. Later 1786 Amendment Act. 1786 Amendment Act. The power is given to all the Governor Generals. During extraordinary situations, he can use the veto against 1786 Amendment Act. 1786 Amendment Act. The power is given to all the governors. Initially only to whom? Cornwallis. An extraordinary power was given. Later all. So that is what this one. What is the significance of this act? Significance. Parliament have effective control. For the first time, Parliament have effective control over Indian affairs. For the first time, Parliament has an effective control on Indian affairs. Next one. The act satisfied the interest of dominant sections. At least it satisfied the interests of dominant sections. Next one, the Indian affairs are subordinated to British interest. The Indian affairs, thereafter the Indian affairs are subordinated to British interest. Suppose if whatever the British interest is, national interest anamata, British national interest. So the affairs in India will be changed. So this is how the Pitt's India Act, importance of what? Pitt's India Act, regulating it. Suppose if British want to have a greater control, it will say conquest India. If we don't want to have a greater control, only trading, you don't support the wars in India. How? See, Pitt's India, considering it as an Indian colony, initially it as a company's territory. For the first time, it started understanding India is very important colony, colonizing. That imperialism started. Got it right? So this is how, now there is no problem, effectiveness. Next, put the heading, background for next act. Background for 18 Charter Act. Charter Act 1813. Next, Charter Act 18. So put the heading background. with the heading background. Is there any defects in the major defects in the 1788? Is there any defects? No. Rectified also. Got it right. So rectified also. Dual government is better only. That is why it continued. And one drawback is council rectified also. No drawback. Then why this act? See, in 1773 regulating act, 20 years of what? Monopoly is given. It completed. It completed in 1793. Again in this act, another 20 years given. Got it right? So in 1773, 20 years monopoly given. Again in 1793, another 20 years given. Now 20 years completed. Now 20 years completed. Now they have to decide whether the monopoly should continue or end. They have to decide. They have to decide. So decide. We will discuss. What happened? We will discuss. So the monopoly continued. They have to decide. Next one. By 1800s, industrial revolution peak. By 1800s, industrial revolution became peak. Manufacturing class. Manufacturing class. Dominant. They become what? Dominant. Big factories. Manufacturing class became dominant. Huge resources. Huge money with them. Okay. Now, manufacturing. 1800s. Why they have until waited for 1830? Initially, the manufacturing class has a big market in Europe. Okay. They will sell. The British, they will sell their goods in Europe. Now, because of Napoleon Bonaparte, he closed the doors of continent Europe. The dominance of Napoleon, what? He closed the doors of the continent. Now, the manufacturing class has to get the new market to sell their goods. They demanding what? The end of monopoly of East India Company. They want to sell their goods in India. Because initially they sell their goods in what? Europe. Because Napoleon closed the door of what? Continental. Initially they sell in continent. Got it right? So now they were unable to sell. Now they want a new market. This is one. Next one. Capitalist class. So the capitalist class are demanding for the new venues for the investment. They want to invest. They have huge capital. They want to have what? New places to invest to get the returns and all. Whatever the investment they have made in what? England. So too much investment in England. They want a new places, new ventures and all. So capitalist. Free traders. Free trade movement. Adam Smith and all. Free trade movement. So they want to open the markets. Okay, free trade movement. And most important, you can also write. Most important, Bentham reformists and evangelists and Christian missionaries. Evangelists. Bentham reformists and evangelists. Evangelists and Christian missionaries. So they are demanding the reforms in India. Okay, so they are demanding what? Companies should take some reforms in India, or British should take some reforms in India, so that the Indian colony will be. See, want to reform same. See, the Bentham and the Evangelist wanted reforms in India, not to do the welfare in India. Got it? If you done the reforms, better administration in India, the colony will be under our control. Okay, so you right. So they are demanding the reforms in India to have a better control over India. To have a better control over India. Better administration, better control. Better administration, better. Now tell me, whose power increased? Whose power increased? Opponent's power increased, supporters' power increased. Opponent's power increased. Now the act, 1830 act, tilt towards the opponent's interest or supporters' interest. What is the supporters' interest? Monopoly. What is the opponent's interest? Free trade. Clear, right? That is why I wrote the opponent's interest is what? End of monopoly. The supporters' interest is what? Continuation of monopoly. 1830 act. What is this? Is a landmark in what? See, the 1830 act provisions. The provisions of 1830 act take all the people's wishes or not. So you write opponents. Who are strong now? Opponents interest ఏంటి అక్కడ రాసుకోండి మీరు. opponents interest ఏంటి? End of supporters interest. Opponents interest is to end of monopoly. Supporters interest ఏంటి? Continuation of monopoly. That is company supporters. First one, British Crown. The British Crown has right over Indian possessions of company. See, now British king has a right. So whatever the territories that was there in India, who has a right? The king has a right. Okay. So it said that the territories that was under the control of East India Company, it is the territory of whom? British king territory. Okay, it said the territory is next one. Right? Next one. End of monopoly. Except
India and China.
no India, except India means no monopoly. Monopoly continue, right? Except tea and China. Tea is their biggest export. So that is what, except tea and China. Okay. So that means virtual end only. Just to make them appease the supporters, they have given this one. Got it? So suddenly if it end, the supporters will not accept, right? It said that the company, whatever the territorial positions that was there, it is British only, and end of monopoly, they don't accept. Next one. Next one. Christian missionaries are demanding what? The reforms in India. We should, you should allow us to go to India so that we will do reforms and all. So it allowed the Christian missionaries, but license. But what? Only licensed. So that all the Christian, why it was made licensed? Only which Christian missionaries support the interest of British, only they allowed them. Doesn't mean Christianity is wrong. What it is? So there are many Christian missionaries who work for the welfare of the people. They don't allow these Christians. They only send the Christian missionaries who will support what? The idea of the company. What it is? So that is what? Licensed. Fourth one. 1 lakh has to be spent on education. Did it has the provisions of all? So in drawback, see, so background. What they are demanding? End of monopoly. What they are demanding? Free trade. What they are demanding? Reforms. Christian missionaries demand is to allow them. It allowed. Bentham reforms through education, it allowed. Clear? Is this clear? Opponents, all the opponents' interests are catered. No supporters. Okay, so 20 years. It gave next 20 years. East India Company. Next 20 years, East India Company will look after the affairs in India. Interest of Crown. Okay, so Crown మిమ్మల్ని నమ్ముతున్నాడు, కింగ్ మిమ్మల్ని నమ్ముతున్నాడు, మీరు తన టెరిటరీని రూల్ చేస్తారని. ఇంట్రెస్ట్ ఆఫ్ వాట్? Crown. Next 20 years You will. But you have to divide the commercial affairs, commercial accounts, separate with what? Revenue accounts. You have to differentiate the commercial accounts with what? The revenue accounts.
House.
Whatever trade you are doing, it is separate. You have to do it with separate accounts. Whatever the revenue accounts, you have to separate. Because the king, see, initially Indian positions are you are the owner. Now Indian positions who are the owner? King. What it is? So all the revenue will goes to what? Clear? Now tell me. Right to appoint. Right to appoint the Indian officials is with whom? Actually, our దగ్గర ఉండాలి. Board. Actually, now who became the board of directors? But will company accept? Company don't accept. Got it right. You take all the powers. So you write right to appointment still with whom? Court of directors. Court of directors. So the Indian officials are still appointed by court of directors. Why do you still appoint? Why company is so adamant? See, why company is so adamant on appointing these people? Suppose Modi has the right to appoint all the civil services in the. Only Modi has this right. He will appoint the 1,000 people. He can choose. Is it a powerful thing or not? Very powerful. This is a very powerful thing. They can appoint all the big posts. See, all the aristocracy class, they want to become IAS in India. They want to, one of the highest profession, got it right. So that is why it continues. They will fight for this. The company will not accept. In the next act, it removed. But they fought, they lobbied. In next act, 1833, initially the provision is, it was made open competition. But because of the company lobbying, they removed one. In 1833 only they introduced, but they removed. Then 1853 it came. Got it right. So that is why I am writing all this. Now, this act is a very important act. This act is very important act. 1813 act. This was considered as an act of modernization. Is it right or wrong? This act. Why? Because see, this act is considered as a modern act of modernization, but it is the act of westernization. So they are not modernizing India, they are westernizing India. You right? From this act, the period of westernization started, not modernization. From this act, the period of westernization started, not modernization. Right? So moving to the next act. Charter Act 1833. Charter Act 1833. Charter Act 1833. Put the heading background. Put the heading background. First one. Is there any drawbacks in 1830 Act? Is there any drawbacks in 1813 Act? No drawbacks. No drawbacks. Then why this act? No. 20 years of loyalty ended. Now, will the loyalty will continue or it will change? Has to be taken. They have to take the decision. Next, the act was made under the background of, in England, there is a Reforms Act in 1832. In England, there is a Reforms Act in 1832. With this Reforms Act, the voting rights of industrial areas has increased. The voting, 1832 Reforms Act under. In England, there is an act was made because of the demands of the industrial class. Okay, workers. With this act, you write, the voting rights of industrial areas has increased. Initially in England, some areas have no voting rights. Some people have no voting rights. With this act, Whose power increased further? Industrial class. Industrial class or manufacturing class. Next one, there is also a greater demand. Greater demand for the end of monopoly. There is a greater demand for end of monopoly. There is a greater demand for strong central control over India. There is a greater demand for end of monopoly, complete end of monopoly. There is a greater demand for strong central authority, and there is a greater demand for better administration, so that we have a better control. Better administration. Strong demand for end of monopoly, strong demand for centralization. Now, to appease the opponents. Supporters. First one. So Indian position. The East India Company will there onwards only political, administrative authority in India. That means I wrote East India Company that there onwards only political, administrative authority. That means end of monopoly. So now company is no longer doing anything. So just company is a political, administrative authority. Interest of British Crown. Actually territory our administer cheyali British Crown. But who is doing? EIC. Next one. Monopoly end అయింది. Company is just ruling. But who has the right? British only. Just company is one agency. It is a private agency. Got it right? Suppose Swachh Bharat Mission will be run by special purpose vehicle. That is also a government. Got it right? But if it is given to private, it is a private. Suppose I think the best example in Andhra Pradesh is E-Seva. Got it right? E-Seva. They will do government applications and all, but private. Got it right? Me Seva, E-Seva. Initially E-Seva anukunta, ippudu Me Seva inda. Next, Governor General of Bengal was now made as. So there is a great demand of strong central control. Governor General of Bengal was now made as Governor General of India, because entire India, who is the owner of this entire India? British. Got it? So who is the first Governor General of India? William Bentinck. Right, William Bentinck. Who is the first Governor General of Bengal? క్లాస్ లోనే తప్పు చెప్పావు, ఇంక ఎగ్జామ్ లోకి వెళ్ళి నీ హిస్టరీ ఫ్యాకల్టీ ఎవరంటే నా పేరు చెప్పదు. Right? Next one. See the Council of Governing Council. Governing spelling ఏంటి? జీవో. Governing Council. How many members? 3. Now the new member added is a law member. New member added, law member. His name is Macaulay. Okay, so the new law member is added to the council to look after to codify the laws and all. Macaulay means education, but his name is Macaulay. Okay. Machiavelli, Lord Machiavelli. Lord Machiavelli kadu, Lord Macaulay. Maucally. Macaulay. Lord Macaulay. And this law member, law commission also. There is also provision for law commission for codification of laws. That is how we have IPC, Criminal Procedure Code, Civil CRPC, all this after this Law Commission. So Law Commission, so Macaulay, okay, so this is the change. Because to have a better administration, we need laws. Got it right? So we, and see, what are the three great demands? End of monopoly. End of monopoly. Next, strong sense of centralization. Governor General of India, strong administration. Laws are made. Next one. Supporters. Supporters. How to appease the court of directors. ఇకనండి మీ ఇల్లు కాదు అని ఎలా చెప్పచ్చు? యు ఆర్ రెంటెడ్ ఓన్లీ అని ఎలా చెప్పచ్చు? ఇంకో 20 years ఉందని చెప్పచ్చు. అవునా కదా? సి యూ బిల్డ్ ఎ బ్యూటిఫుల్ ప్యాలెస్. ఓకే, యూ బిల్డ్ ఎ బ్యూటిఫుల్ ప్యాలెస్, వెదర్ ఇల్లీగల్, లీగల్, వాట్ ఎవర్ ద థింగ్, యూ బిల్డ్ ఎ బ్యూటిఫుల్ ప్యాలెస్. గవర్నమెంట్ కేమ్ అండ్ ఇట్ ఈస్ సేయింగ్ ఇఫ్ ప్యాలెస్ ఈజ్ నాట్ యువర్స్, విల్ యూ యాక్సెప్ట్? నో, ఇట్స్ ఏ 20 years ఉండండి, తర్వాత మాకు ఇచ్చేయండి. సో యూ రైట్. సో 20 years. 20 years you will be ruling the Indian positions in trust of the crown. Okay, so East India Company will rule the Indian positions in trust of crown. నేను మిమ్మల్ని నమ్మి నా ప్యాలెస్ మీ చేతిలో పెడుతున్నానని చెప్పింది. Okay, so next 20 years. So next one. So now it said company is only a political authority. Right or wrong? Company is a political authority. Whosoever working in India, they are the government officials. Right or wrong? అప్పుడు ఎవరు అపాయింట్ చేయాలి? గవర్నమెంట్ ఆర్ కంపెనీ? సో నీ ఇంట్లో పని వాళ్ళని, నో ప్యాలెస్, ఇన్ ద ప్యాలెస్ ద వర్కర్స్, అట్లీస్ట్ నో దే సెడ్ యు ఆర్ నాట్ ద ఓనర్, 20 years ఉండి వెళ్ళిపోవచ్చు అన్నారు. వర్కర్స్ నువ్వు అపాయింట్ చేసుకోవచ్చా? గవర్నమెంట్ పెడతాను. నా ప్యాలెస్ నీట్గా ఉండాలంటే యాక్చువల్లీ గవర్నమెంట్ హ్యాస్ టు అపాయింట్ ద ఓనర్. బట్ I told this is very important. Initially in this act, it mentioned that open competition. From there onwards, all the IAS officers will be based on examination. But who lobbied? Court of Directors. Please. ఇంకొకసారి అంటే నో కావాలంటే ఇక్కడ రాసి చేరిపోయింది. నో, స్టిల్ కంటిన్యూడ్ అండ్ అసెంబ్లీ, బికాస్ యూ విల్ కన్ఫ్యూజ్. నెక్స్ట్ 1853 it was made open. Okay, so ఇక్కడ రాయండి రైట్ టు అపాయింట్. Still with whom? Right to appoint the Indian officials, still with Court of Directors. So next two acts are very easy because it tilted towards whom? Opposites. Completely tilted, right? If it is not, then there is acts are required and all. Next act ending 18 Charter Act. You write Charter Act. చార్టర్ కరెక్టేనా? అర్థం అవ్వకపోతే బుక్లో చూసుకో. సో చార్టర్ యాక్ట్, సో డైరెక్ట్ ప్రొవిజన్స్ రాసండి, వెరీ ఈజీ. వై చార్టర్ యాక్ట్ 1853? 20 years కంప్లీటెడ్. ఓకే, సో 20 years కంప్లీటెడ్. నౌ ఇచ్చిందా ఇవ్వలేదా? ఇట్ సేడ్ దట్ యూ విల్ స్టే ఇన్ ద ప్యాలెస్ ఓన్లీ అంటిల్ ఐ విల్ సే. Okay, so there is no time limit. You write East India Company will administer the India, but no time framework. No time limit is mentioned. That is why 1857 it took away. 1857 it took away because there is no problem. Time limit is not mentioned until the trust mentioned is. Right? Now separation of, see now there is a need for, see now it become, see initially company, now it become like a government అయినప్పుడు ఏం చేయాలి? It has to separate the executive powers with legislative powers. Someone has to, Britain ఎలా ఉంటుంది, someone has to will do the law, another will take what actions. So it has to separate the executive powers and like they are establishing the mini parliament in India.
Sir, executive functions APPSC does.
Until now both legislative and executive ఎవరు చేసేవాళ్ళు? గవర్నర్ జనరల్. ఎవరు చేసేవాళ్ళు ఇండియాలో? గవర్నర్ జనరల్, కౌన్సిల్ ఓన్లీ. Who will run administration in India? Governor General, Council. Who will make laws? They only. Who will enforce their laws? They only, initially, because it is a company. Now the company rule gradually ending. Now who is started ruling? British. Now they are establishing a parliament in India. So they separated what? Executive powers with what? Legislator. See, understand this one. Governor General Council. See, understand. Governor General Council. How many members are there? 4 members. If they are sitting, they are taking. It is executive. Okay, executive. Now, 6 new members added. 6 new members added. They are taken from local officials. They are not Indians. See, no Indians still allowed into the. It means 6 new members. 1 member is Bengal. Another person is from. See, 3 presidencies, 3 persons. No Indians. They are officials of British only. So no Indians are allowed. So just they added. See, Governor General of Council ఎంతమంది ఉండేవాళ్ళు? 4 ఉండేవాళ్ళు. ఇప్పుడు ఎంతమందిని యాడ్ చేశారు? టోటల్ ఎంతమంది అయ్యారు? 10. If there are 10 are sitting, it is called legislative body. If only 4 executive, you tell me, in parliament, both executive and legislative, parliament, how many members are there? 545 members. PM is also from 545 members. So వాళ్ళని ఏమంటారు? Cabinet Ministry, Council of Ministers, what it is. So they are like Council of Ministers. They are like what? Council of Ministers. They are like member of Parliament. Can I say it is like a mini parliament? Through this act, you write. Through this act, they established a mini parliament in India. Although no Indians are allowed. With this act, law member become a permanent member also. You can add this one also. With this act, law member become permanent member. Initially, law member added to codify. With this act, law member clear? Now, see, British rule only. British rule only. But who will rule instead of British rule? EIC rule. Okay. Who will make law? Mini parliament. Who will rule the India? Indian officials will be appointed by company or government. Newton. Now government. Got it right. So now right. Now open competition. Open competition for the civil service. So exam based. Now open competition. 1853 Act. Open the recruitment process. Do Indians allowed? Yes. Everyone allowed. Indian allowed. European allowed. Who is the first Indian who became ICS? Initially ICS. Who is the first Indian? When? It took 10 years. 18. See, understand. The act is 1853. Okay. It took 10 years. Satyendranath Tagore, brother of. See, IAS officer kante ala brother inga most famous. No one knows about Satyendranath Tagore. Everyone knows about Ravindranath Tagore. It took 10 years. Where the exam is? London only. In London only. So, ఇవాళ homework ఏంటంటే మీరు ఓకే సో సైడ్ ఎక్కడైనా పేజ్ do Google whatever you will do, write all the information about what? ICS examination. When it opened? 1853. Who is the first person? Okay. Next ఏంటి? Next another act, Indian Civil Services Act, another 1861. Then there is a commissions for reforms. When the first exam was made in India, 1922, you add all the information because it will take so much time to discuss all that. But I will tell the framework. See, this is the framework. You do homework on this. Got it? So whenever homework needed, because they may ask. If they ask, you will lose the 2 marks. Okay. So you do this homework. Okay. This act clear? అక్కడ రాసుకోండి నోట్ అని homework on Indian Civil Services. Okay. Who is the father of Indian Civil Services? Cornwallis. I will discuss. In administration, I will discuss. But there is a factual information. Who is the first person and all? You have to do the work. I will tell, but it will take another half an hour. Next act. So next government. So illa right. 1857 revolt. 1857 revolt led to Government of India Act 1858. Okay, Government of India Act 1858. First, write few provisions. You tell me, as far as in administration concerned, is there any substantial change in the administration? No. Already changes happened, right? So you write, as far as administration, in administration concerned, there is no substantial change. It is just a change of name from company to crown. In administration, no big changes. Governor General of Council still have the same power. The control over parliament still what it is. As far as administration, no big changes. Okay, what are the main changes happened? End of EIC rule. Beginning of crown rule. This is the only change of name only, right? Change of name only. Next one. The Court of Directors and Board of Control ended when it established? అసలు యాక్టే చెప్పలేదు. Pitt's India Act 1784 dual control. I said it continued until the end of company rule. Company rule ended, so both ended. Now in their place there is a Secretary of State. Okay, in their place there is a Secretary of State. Okay, he is a cabinet member in Britain Parliament. Secretary of State. So they ended this Court of Director and Board of Control. In their place, just who came? He was assisted by Indian Council, having 15 members. In simple, you know what they have done? Court of Directors, Board of Control, 7, 8. రెండు కలిపేసి ఒకటే పెట్టారు. ఏంటిది? ఇండియన్ కౌన్సిల్. 2 డ్యూయల్ సిస్టమ్ ఉండేదాన్ని ఏం చేశారు? రెండు కలిపేసి ఇండియన్ కౌన్సిల్ చేశారు. ద హెడ్ ఆఫ్ ఇండియన్ కౌన్సిల్ ఎవరు? సెక్రటరీ ఆఫ్ స్టేట్. యువర్ హోంవర్క్ ఏంటంటే హూ ఇస్ ద ఫస్ట్ సెక్రటరీ ఆఫ్ స్టేట్? ఎడ్వర్డ్ హెన్రీ స్టెలెన్ అనుకుంటా. స్టెలెన్, ఎడ్వర్డ్ హెన్రీ స్టెలెన్ అనుకుంటా. సో ఇక్కడ రాసుకోండి. యువర్ హోంవర్క్ ఈస్ హూ ఇస్ ద ఫస్ట్ సెక్రటరీ ఆఫ్ ద స్టేట్. Clear? Next one. The Governor General of India is given a title. The Governor General of India is given a title. Viceroy. Viceroy of India. Edward Henry Staley అనుకుంటా. STALEY అనుకుంటా. But cross check cheyandi. Who is the first Secretary of State? Is Edward Henry. So the Viceroy is given a title called Viceroy. Viceroy and entante is a direct representative of crown. Viceroy and entante direct representative of the crown. Who is the first Viceroy? Lord Canning. So right, Lord Canning is the So this is about company rule. The acts which defines the company rule. See, whatever the acts, 1861, see the next act 1861, 1909 act, 1919 act. See, ikkada note and pettuకొని రాసుకోండి. See the next important acts 1861 act, 1909 Act, 1919 Act, 1935 Act. I will discuss through the national movement so that you will understand the background. Got it right? So I discuss these acts, company rule, company acts. These acts I will discuss national movement. See, Vande Mataram movement, you will see this act. The act is the reason for non-cooperation movement. Civil disobedience movement, this act. We will discuss in that format so that you will have a better understanding. So with this, the acts ended. After break, I will discuss the company. Okay, so thank you. Right? Right, we continue with company's rule. Okay. See, first I completed the acts, right? Okay. So company rule. So the 100 years, put the heading 100 years of company rule. Put the heading 100 years of company rule. 57. Battle of Plaza. No, company rule. See, acts completed. Okay, so administration. So in company rule, I discussed only acts. Now the administration. So 100 years of company's rule. See the company rule, right? Few lines. You already know these lines. The company rule in India is aligned with the British policies. Right or wrong? The company rule in India is aligned with the British policies. First one. Is it right?
Yes.
Through acts we understood. Right? Through acts we understood the company rule in India is aligned with British policies. The company rule in India will change with British acts. Is it right? The company rule in India will change with British acts in India. See, two persons, R.P. Dutt and Karl Marx. R.P. Dutt and Karl Marx, they divided the company rule into two parts. Mercantile phase, monopoly phase. Mercantile phase, monopoly phase. See why, on what basis they divided, right? On what basis they divided? See, they divided that after 1813 Act. After 1830 Act, what happened? Monopoly over India. See, they divided it because the opponent's strength increased after 1813 Act, right or wrong? After 1813 Act, the monopoly ended except tea and China. But whose support has increased? The opponents. So the British Act tilted towards what? Tilted towards free trade in India. Okay, so you read it. They said that there was a quantitative and qualitative changes, transformation, right? There is a qualitative and quantitative, both. Quality level also, quantity level also. Transformation in administration in India. Quantitative and qualitative. Right? See, I will give you the chart for this one and then this one. If you understand this chart, the Governor General's topic is very easy. Okay, so I don't discuss the Governor General's, first Governor General, Cornwallis, Robert Clive, then Warren Hastings. I don't discuss in this way. I will discuss the phase importance so that whosoever Governor Generals in this phase, they aligned with this one. Got it right? So put the heading. What is the heading? Mercantile phase. Put the heading mercantile phase, main heading. Then I will discuss which phase? Industrial phase. First we will complete the mercantile phase, then industrial phase. Right? See, the company has, I will discuss the company motto. What is the motto of the company? Next one. Based on the motto only, the company have its objectives. Okay. So company has a vision or motto. Based on the objectives, company policies in India will be determined. Clear? First we should understand what is the motto of the company and then their objectives, then their policy. See, in this period, the company motto is very simple. Purchasing goods from India. Cheaper rate or higher rate? They want to purchase goods from India. Okay. Very cheaper rate. And they want to sell the goods in where? Europe. Higher rate or cheaper rate? Very simple motto. You write? Purchase goods from India. Purchase goods from India. At what rate? Cheaper rate. Sell the goods ekkada? In Europe or whatever market. Purchase goods from India and they sell them at higher price. At higher price. If they want to do this thing, see, if they do this thing, what will they get? They will get high profit. They will get what? High profit. If they want to continue to do this, what they have to do in India? If they want to purchase goods from India at very cheaper price and they want to sell the same goods at Europe in very higher, what is the motto? What they have to do in India so that they will continue this one? They have to monopolize Indian market. What it is? So in this, what is their motto? Monopoly of Indian market. So they have to write. What is the motto? Monopoly of Indian market. So monopoly of market, both India and Europe also. While monopoly is same, they will get high profits. This is the only motto of the company. So any company's motto is high profit. For high profit, they have to what? Monopolize. Clear? Now the company objectives. See, what happened is, they have to purchase goods from what? India. If they have to purchase goods from India, they have to get money. Right or wrong? They have to get money to India. From where they have to get? England only. So they are getting the money from England and they are dumping in what? India. So at that time, money is what? Silver and gold. So they are getting the silver and gold from England and they are dumping in what? India. It is against the mercantile philosophy. What is mercantile philosophy? Mercantile philosophy I discussed in the first class. Balance of payment should be favorable to whom? The home country. That is what the philosophy dominant in this world. So if they are doing this one, the England resources will be in what? India. All the company is developing. Company is getting profits. But who is at stake? England resources is dumping into what? India. So their objective is, they want to use the revenue from India only. They want to use the revenue from what? India only. So their objective is, from where they can get the revenue? Land revenues. Okay. So what is the objective? Maximization of revenue. Maximization of revenue from India. Maximization of revenue. They want to increase the revenue from India, from whatever the source, so that they can purchase the goods from India with Indian money only. This is called drain of wealth. Okay. So maximization of revenue from India, so that substantial money, substantial amount used in trade and commerce. Because see, administering also have some cost. So they want to reduce the cost as much as, so that they can use in what? Trade and commerce. So that it will not go against the mercantile philosophy. Okay, this is the motto. For that motto, there is one drawback. For that, they has an objective of what? Maximization of revenue. Now tell me, in India, whatever the company rule, understand, got it right? I am talking about company rule. I am not talking about company's monopoly. This is company's monopoly objective, but there is a drawback. That countries billions are into India. So what is the objective? Maximization of revenue from India. Maximization of revenue from India. Keep this in mind. All the governor generals in India, they will focus on maximization of revenue in India. They will try to reduce expenses. Got it? Maximization of revenue, not only increasing the revenue, reducing what? Expenditure also. Now tell me, welfare on Indian people, expenditure or revenue? Expenditure. In this phase, will they do welfare activities? No. Got it right? In this phase, do they give money for education? No. 1813. See, after 1813, money for education. Got it right? So no policies in India. See, I will administrative reforms. So need divide just for easy. Okay. So for easy, we will divide administrative reform. What are the reforms they have done? Administrative reforms, economic reforms, social reforms, and cultural reforms. Cultural reforms. Okay. So for better understanding, we will divide. Now, administration. Do they do reforms in law and order?
Yes.
Why?
Law and order.
See, they are doing the trade. They are doing the atrocity. What is there in increasing the law and order? In India, mere puttu only. I am purchasing the goods. I am selling. Got it right? So law and order. Who has to take care? Law and order. Indian rulers. Got it right? So in administration, they don't interfere in the law and order. Where they will interfere? Only which reforms they will do? Land revenue reforms. Why? Because what is their motto? Maximization of revenue. Only so land revenue reforms. So you don't found doing reforms in what?
Police.
But they will do. Why? See, what is their main objective? Land revenue reforms only. Because maximization of profit. Only motive is land revenue reforms. But the land revenue reforms, if they want to do, it linked to judicial reforms. Why? The land revenue reforms, if they want to do reforms in the land revenue, it linked to judiciary. Why? How much has to collect from India? Where it was written? Judiciary, law. Got it right? How much they have to collect? What is the law in India? Who will collect? Okay, what is the procedure? Ivanni evariki telusu. Did Britishers know? They don't know. If they introduce the new system, what will happen? See, their motto is land revenue reforms only. They suddenly introduce a new system like GST. Will it be successful? Suddenly GST introduces in old days. Got it right? They have to do the reforms. That means they have to know about Indian land revenue system. For that, they have to reform what? Judicial reforms. Although it is costful expenditure or not, but they have done. Why? This is the purpose. Got it right? So only all the governor generals in this phase, Warren Hastings, Cornwallis, Wellesley, all done only 2 reforms. Judiciary, police is also there. Got it right? So police is also there. Though Cornwallis established thanas and all. Got it right? That is why they have done. In this way you should remember. Got it right? So other reforms they have not done. Only two reforms in administration. Clear? Their main motive is what? Maximization of profit. So they have to do in what? This one. To know about land revenue, they need to do reforms in this one also. How to collect? What is next one? Economic reforms. Do they done any economic reforms? Do they introduce railways? When they introduce, see, I'm talking about this phase. No, is it any requirement for railways? You tell me.
No, sir.
No requirement, right? They are purchasing the good. Got it right? If railways introduce, is it investment or profit? Investment. They avoid investment. Got it right? So they avoid. So economic reforms, it is only about drain of wealth. I will discuss in what format. They have drained the wealth. Why? How they drain the wealth? Goods is from India. Money is also from India. Got it right? So this is how they drain the wealth. Got it right? So in this phase, the drain of wealth is a different phase. Next phase, the drain of wealth only, but in a different format, like investment, interest, home charges. In this phase, the goods is from India and the products is money is also social reform. You tell me. Do they done any social reforms in this phase? Any requirement is there? No requirement. No governor has done the social reforms. Warren Hastings, no social reform. Cornwallis, no social reform. Wellesley, no social reform. Next phase, there is a need for social reforms. I will discuss. That is why William Bentinck, social reforms. Dalhousie, social reforms. Clear? No need. Why? It will increase what? Expenditure. It will increase the expenditure. Now, cultural reforms. No need. If you understand this, you will understand very simple. Got it right? All the Governor General only done focus on only 2 reforms. What are the 2 reforms? Judiciary. Both are interlinked. Clear? Now, so we will discuss the rule. Okay, so first one. Phase of indirect control, indirect rule. Phase of indirect rule. Phase of indirect rule. Phase of indirect rule. See, sorry. Put the heading administrative reforms. Put the heading administrative reforms. Then I will discuss economic reforms. Then I will discuss social reforms. See, I will discuss why they have not done the social reforms. I will discuss why they have not done this one. We will discuss all these things. Put the heading administrative reforms. In administrative reforms, first one, phase of indirect control. Did they directly ruled or indirectly ruled? Indirectly. What is the system they used? Yes, dual government. Who established? Robert Clive. Okay, so Clive established dual rule. Dual rule. Dual rule. In this dual rule, what are the systems that was there? Diwan. Is there the new things or already existing things? So can I write, in this phase, they are using the existing Mughal structure of administration, right or wrong, for their own interest. That means maximization of profit. So right. So in this phase, Robert Clive. Okay. So in this phase, Robert Clive using the existing Mughal structure of administration. Robert Clive using the existing Mughal structure of administration. What is the outcome of this administrative system?
More responsibility.
Huge corruption. What is the outcome of this administration? Huge corruption. Great famine. Next one. EIC net losses. So the indirect phase, using the administrative structure of Mughals and maximization of revenue, is it working for the company? Not working. Is it good for the country like Bengal? No. So now they have to take the administration into their control. What did I? They have to take the administration into their control. Will they know about administration in India? Britishers, new language, new laws, new system, they don't know. That is why they use the existing system initially, but it failed. So next, right? Phase of direct rule. Phase of direct rule 1772 to 1830. Right? See, three important Governor General during phase. There is another two also, I will tell, they are not important. Warren Hastings, Lord Cornwallis, Lord Wellesley. These three Governor General, if you remember, the administration. Idi? In the Cornwall, first one, Lord Robert Clive. Okay. After Robert Clive, Warren Hastings came. In between, well set but the direct administration start from, because he ended the indirect rule. He ended the indirect rule. That is what. See, inko two members untaru ikkada. I think three members. They are not important. I will write in another name. See, ikkada John Shore. ఇక్కడ ఒకళ్ళు ఎవరు ఉంటారు? జాన్ షోర్. ఇన్ బిట్వీన్ ఫ్యూ ఇయర్స్ రండి, కావాలంటే రండి. జాన్ షోర్. జాన్ షోర్. He has not done the much reforms anamata. Only who done? These three people. John Shore. He is called as father of non-intervention. He is called as, yes, father of non-intervention, because he is not intervened in any. See, manaku battles lo kuda chuste, battles, if you understand, I discussed. Mysore was targeted by Warren Hastings. Mysore paralyzed by. Who should eliminate Mysore?
Sure.
But he was not interventionist. Okay, that is why he is having a name called father of non-intervention. He is not interfered in the Wellesley. Got it right? And another person, Brownlee or something, he is not at all important. Next one, Minto 1. Right? Next one, Minto 1. Minto 1. After Wellesley, there is another Governor General, not at all important. Minto 1. Minto 1 is important for only one thing. Treaty of Amritsar was signed during this time. Got it right? Treaty of Amritsar. With whom? Ranjit Singh. 1809. Only these two things. John Shore, 1 point. He is father of non-interventionist. Another one is Minto. Only Treaty of not important. Clear? Now, I am continuing the story. See now, understand? See, indirect rule. See, indirect rule. Robert Clive, dual system and all. Did it fail or success? Failed. So now they want to take the administration into their control. Okay, so now they want to take Indian administration into their control. Do the Governor Generals are British or the East India Company? They know about Indian administration? They don't know. Got it right? They don't know about any Indian administration, but they want to establish an administration. The purpose of establishment of administration is what? Yes. Got it right? So they want to maximize the revenue. So Warren Hastings is the first one, right? Do he knows any system in India? Do he has any precedent to support him? So his time policy of trial and error. So policy of trial and error. He introduced a system. If it succeeded, continue. If failed, change. Policy of trial and error. In which fields? All fields? Yes. Land revenue field. Next one. Judicial reforms. Clear? Only in these fields he will introduce a system. If it work, continue. If not, he will change. Okay. Now, Warren Hastings has given some foundation to whom? Cornwallis. Now, Cornwallis have some understanding about Indian administration because he done some trial and error and all. So, Cornwallis consolidated administration. Consolidated administration. That is why Cornwallis is called modernization of Indian administration, but westernization of Indian administration. Got it right? So, he said modernization of Indian administration starts from whom? Cornwallis. But we call it as what? Westernization of administration. Clear, right? Warren Hastings, trial and error. In which fields? Same. Same again. He is also in which fields? Judicial reforms. See, Cornwallis established the administration and it is good enough. Do Wellesley need to change? No need. So Wellesley only focus is to expand the territory. Warren Hastings and Cornwallis, only Bengal is under their control. Only Bengal is under their control. They have to consolidate the Bengal by establishing good administration. Who established good administration? Cornwallis. Now administration is good. Now Wellesley has no problem of administration. Now he focus on expansion of territory. Wellesley is known for yes, policy of expansion. Through what? Subsidiary alliance. He is the architect behind subsidiary alliance. With subsidiary alliance, he expanded what? The territory of the British. British become, see this is what? He done the administrative reforms started. He consolidated the administration. Now there is no problem in administration. He expanded the territory. With this, British become what? Yes. Paramount power in India. British become paramount power in India. This is how we will discuss. First put the heading Warren Hastings. First put the heading Warren Hastings. Warren Hastings. So I am not discussing is the first Governor General of Bengal and all. Got it right? Warren Hastings. Which field? Land revenue. Two fields, right? Land revenue reforms. Another one? Judicial reforms. I will discuss the one. First one, land revenue reforms. He introduced a board of revenue. So he established a separate board for collection of revenue. Board of revenue. Mainly from which area? Bengal, Bihar and Orissa. They got Diwani rights, right? Bengal, Bihar and Orissa they have to collect the land revenue. Initially, who collect? Mughal administrative, like. Okay, so board of revenue. What he trialed? He trialed that he started using revenue farming system. Okay, so what is the system? Revenue farming system. Okay, so the collection method of collecting the land revenue. Revenue farming system and ఏంటంటే he will put the auction. Suppose Bengal, Bihar, Orissa, 3 areas under their control. Like he will put Bengal every year it will get 10 lakhs revenue. I will start with 6 lakhs. Whosoever give the 6 lakhs, I will give Bengal revenue rights to you. Auction starts with 6 lakhs. Some says 6.5. So this revenue farming means what? Auction. And rights will be given to whom? Highest bidder. Okay, kada. Revenue farming and it is auctioning of revenue collecting rights. Auctioning of revenue collecting rights. To whom? ఎవరికి ఇస్తారు? No. Who is the highest bidder? Okay, so who? From whom? For whom? Highest bidder. See, దీన్నే ఇంకొకటి కూడా అంటారు ఇజాదారీ సిస్టమ్ ఆల్సో అంటారు. ఇజాదారీ సిస్టమ్ ఆల్సో. If you want, you write. ఇజాదారీ. IJA. ఇజాదారీ సిస్టమ్. IDAR. ఇజాదారీ సిస్టమ్ ఆల్సో. సో హైయెస్ట్ right? Clear. Did this system fail or succeeded? Failed. Why? You tell. Fail అని చెప్పారు కాబట్టి. It failed. So I said trial and error. It failed. Initially he gave for 5 years. Later he changed for every year. అవన్నీ అవసరం in detail అవసరం revenue system, but it failed. Why? You should tell. Why it failed?
Because there is no fix చేసి అంతే ఇస్తున్నారు. అదే మాత్రం ఎక్కువ తీసుకోవచ్చు.
ఎక్కువ తీసుకోవచ్చు, తక్కువ అవ్వచ్చు. ఇది మెయిన్ ప్రాబ్లం. తక్కువ వస్తే వాట్ ఎవర్ హీ బిడ్ హీ లాస్ట్. తక్కువ వచ్చినందుకు ఏం చేస్తాడు? హీ ట్రై టు గెట్ యాజ్ మచ్ యాజ్ ఫ్రమ్ వాట్? ఫార్మర్స్. వాట్ ఇట్ ఐ? సో దీన్ని ఏమంటామంటే బెటర్ వర్డింగ్. ఐ విల్ పుట్ ఇట్ ఎ బెటర్ వర్డింగ్. సో ద యాక్చువల్ రెవెన్యూ కలెక్షన్ ఈజ్ డిఫరెంట్ ఫ్రమ్ ద ఎస్టిమేటెడ్ రెవెన్యూ కలెక్షన్. వాట్ ఇట్ రైట్? సపోజ్ ఎస్టిమేటెడ్ 10 lakhs వస్తాయి అనుకున్నాడు. ఎస్టిమేటెడ్ 10 lakhs వస్తాయి అనుకొని హీ బిడ్ ఫర్ 8 lakhs. But the actual collection may be 7 lakhs also. What it is? So what is the first problem? Actual collection different from estimated. Because sometimes ఏం రావచ్చు? Sometimes famines రావచ్చు. Will the bidder shows interest in the next time? If this deviation is too much, will the bidder shows interest in the next time? Because every year it will be given to anyone, right? So bidders ఏం చేస్తారు? నెక్స్ట్ టైం లెస్కి పాడడానికి ట్రై చేస్తారు. నెక్స్ట్ టైం ఫర్దర్ లెస్. వాట్ ఇట్ ఇట్? సపోజ్ నెక్స్ట్ ప్రాబ్లం ఏంటి? ప్రెజర్ ఆన్ పీజన్స్ విల్ ఇంక్రీజ్. రైట్ ఆర్ రాంగ్? ఎలా చెప్పచ్చు? ప్రెజర్ ఆన్ పీజన్స్ ఇంక్రీజ్. హౌ? Pressure on peasants will increase. How? See, they know that this land belongs to me for 1 year only. I have to collect as much as. Next year, farmers untara, potara, land, they don't have any. What it is? So they want to get as much as. So it increases the pressure on what? Peasants. This system is a fail. Why? Because one is, this is the reason, the next one this. And this system is also got failed because every year they don't know how much money the company will get. See, the company has to do the budgeting. For budgeting, they should know how much revenue they will get. Will they know through this auction? They don't know, right? So you write financial stability also lost of the company. Financial stability, not there. Got it right? So government cannot budget its military expenditure, its revenue expenditure, how much it has to. So the budgeting problem and all. So the financial stability, you cannot know how much income you will get every year. It will change. And another one is, in this budget, in this revenue farming only, the jamindars themselves using their proxies, purchasing at lower rate. Okay, వాళ్ళు ఏం చేస్తారు బయట అందరూ మాట్లాడుకొని no one should bid higher than this one. Suppose he said 6 lakhs, 6 lakhs 10,000. Okay, got it right? So the jamindars are using, first this time jamindar purchase, next time they are using their syndicate member or anyone, they are purchasing at very low rate. So what is disturbing? Financial stability. Every year the auction price is decreasing. Got it right? So the failure led to, okay, see now, I mean, all this revenue collection ఎక్కువ వచ్చిందా తక్కువ వచ్చిందా? Yes, revenue is decreasing. That is why company went for second loan. Got it right? Company went for second time loan. I told right, 1778 because of company went for second time loan. This is the reason. See, you should have this connectivity. Got it right? So when I am discussing the acts, I told company went for second time loan. Now I have given why it went for second time loan. Now Pitt's India Act, second loan. Pitt's India Act. After this Pitt's India Act, whom sent to India? Cornwallis. Cornwallis was mainly sent on what basis? Revenue should increase. Whatever you will do, you do in India. Our revenue should maximize. That is why he has given exclusive power. Got it right? Cornwallis, next thing you said, Cornwallis came with an idea called system. I will discuss. Got it right? I will discuss. I just want to connect the dots. So Cornwallis introduced what? Permanent settlement. I think you understood why permanent settlement?
Yes.
Why it is permanent? Because of these drawbacks. If it is permanent, there is no pressure on peasants. He will take care of the welfare of the peasants because he is the owner. If it is permanent, the government will know how much money it will get every year. If it is permanent, the estimated actual will be counted in the next financial years and all. What it is? So that is why the permanent settlement system. We will discuss when I am discussing the Cornwallis. Clear? Next one. Put the in judicial reform side. Judicial. See, in judicial, Sadar, Diwan, Adalat. Adalat means court. Sadar, Nizamat, Adalat. Civil and criminal. Okay, so this is what? Criminal, sorry, civil. This is criminal. So civil court, criminal court anukundam. Civil court and criminal court anukundam. Now tell me, which side of the judiciary they want reforms and they want their control? Why not criminal?
Because
Yes, this is what. Got it right. The revenue matters comes under which side? Civil side. Got it right. Criminal side, what punishment should given to the deaths and any crime done by? There is no need. That is why they focus on what? Civil side. So civil side, the highest authority is Governor General in Council is the highest authority in deciding the cases. Governor General in Council is the highest authority in deciding the cases. The below district collector. The below district collector will decide the cases. That is why he is called district magistrate also. Governor General in Council, top court. Governor General in Council will decide. Criminal side, will they interfere?
no.
No. Chief Qazi, like Mughals. Qazi is the judge in Mughal side. So Muslims laws will continue here. Chief Qazi is the main judge. And the same Mughal structure has continued. Qazi is a judge. So they continue. Now, will these people know about Indian laws?
No.
Will they know about Sanskrit? No. So they started translating the Indian laws into English. One such law is Code of Gento. Code of Gento. Gento. Code of Gento. Code of Gento is what? The translation of Indian laws into what? English by N.B. I think 1776. N.B. Halhed. N.B. Halhed is the person who translated the Indian laws. Right? No, Sanskrit and all. So, like Indian law, Sanskrit laws, Hindu laws, Hindu laws, Sanskrit to English. The Muslim laws from Persian to English. So, ala oka book anamata. This is one book was written during this time. Why it was written during this time? Because of the people has to have the cognizance of this. Next one. Is judiciary successful or it is failed? Failed because both the revenue collector, suppose I am the collector, suppose you have to pay 10,000 rupees land revenue. I took 15,000. Okay, you went to the court. There also, who is the judge? I am the judge. District collector. See, what is district collector means? Collector land. See, whatever the IAS now we are doing, it started with district collector. So revenue collector is a revenue collector, right? And he is also the magistrate. So I collected 15,000 from you. Huge scope of corruption, right or wrong? So you're right. There is no separation of power. There is huge scope of corruption. The corruption is such a level that even he also, or Warren Hastings is also the part of the corruption. He himself told, corruption do in system. He made a separate department for that corruption. That is what institutionalization of corruption also happened. Cornwallis, when he came, he told 1/3 of the India became jungle because of Warren Hastings. He told him this way. Got it right. And Warren Hastings, even one person, I think N.K. Singh has complained about Warren Hastings also. And N.K. Singh was using the judiciary. He was given imprisonment, death sentence also. The person who gave the complaint against Warren Hastings against these corruptions and all. He using this friends in judiciary because no separation of power. That is called judicial murder. They called it as a judicial murder. And Cornwallis said that 1/3 of the India became what? Jungle because of this one. That is why Cornwallis consolidated. Got it right. So next one. Put the heading. What is the drawback? No separation of power. Huge corruption. Cornwallis came. ఏం చేసి ఉంటాడు ఇక్కడ ఏం చేశాడు Cornwallis came permanent he has ఇక్కడ ఏంటి separation of power, rule of law. I will discuss in Cornwallis. Just I am connecting, right? Put the heading Cornwallis. Put the heading Cornwallis. First we will discuss the judicial reforms, then I will discuss landman. Judicial reforms, first one. ఏంటిది? No fixed term. No fixed term. So 72 to I think he came until 84 I think. Oh Lord, Warren Hastings 84 he came. I think he's ruled up to 93. So separation of power. Why separation of power. He divided the collecting rights from judicial power. Okay, separation of power. That is why he is called as what? Father of civil services. He is called as father of civil services because he created two posts in civil service. Covenant covenant service and non-covenant. Covenant and agreement అని అర్థం. Covenant and agreement. It was an agreement between the person in the company that you will be loyal and collect the revenue according to the rule. Covenant and non-covenant. Covenant means higher official, higher post. That is what civil service is, higher, lower posts. Indians were not allowed in the covenant in the initial time. He don't believe the Indians and all. Okay, so Europeanization of administration started from Cornwallis.
Sir, it is there in Hastings also.
Which one?
Europeanization.
How he introduced which one? Ijadari system. Ijadari system is an Indian system. Okay, Sarde Adalat. Nizami is Adalat and Diwani Adalat. It is also Indians only, right? Cornwallis is the person he introduced. Europeanization of administration started from Cornwallis. Right? He separated the powers of what? District collector separated. Now the district collector only duty is to what? Collection of land revenue. He has a separate salary, 1500 rupees salary, one of the highest at the time. 2% collection, revenue share. You will get 2% revenue share. And the promotion is also based on seniority. Promotion is based on seniority. Father of civil services. In India, who is called father of civil services? Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel. Exam lo rendu పేర్లు ఇస్తే ఏం చేస్తారు? They don't give, they only give one name. Because they know we are calling Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel as the father of civil services. అంత డీటెయిల్గా ఎవరులే. Got it right? Separation of power. Next he established what? 2% share from the revenue to reduce the corruption. See, all these things is to what? To reduce the corruption. He only made the civil service as one of the prestigious and highly salaried job because he also want to use, in Ardhashastra he told, in Ardhashastra Kautilya told, if you want to reduce the corruption, you should give him high salary. Why? Because if he caught in the corruption, he will use his high salary job. So instead of doing corruption, he will stick with this what? High salary. So he increased the salary, share and all. That is what ICS become the most prestigious post. Otherwise it is a collecting job. Bill collector laga, revenue collector. So the person who collect bills is called bill collector. Is there any respect to him? No respect. Why district collector is so much respect? Money. Got it? So money. So next one, rule of law. Rule of law. What is rule of law? No discrimination. All equal. He say, they that we introduce rule of law in India. They says that they introduce rule of law in India because the caste discriminations and all right in India. See, in theory, you write in theory. In theory, they introduce rule of law that all are equal, no discrimination. There is no court fee. The most important thing is he established a circular court. See, in judiciary they don't ask this much detail. He established a court of hierarchies anamata. Alante top court, circle courts alaga. But the most important thing is there is no court fee. Court will not collect fee. This is what they are saying, that we introduce the rule of law. Anyone can, from any background, can go to the court without any fee. But in theory, this is all in theory. But in practice, you write in practice. Is it rule of law introduced? Cornwallis is the most known Governor General who discriminated Indians. He don't believe the blood of Indian. That is why he don't made Indians to get into the higher jobs and all. And they see there is no court fee, but they introduce the lawyer fee. Got it right? So lawyer fee and lawyers become, you know how they become. So lawyer fee become introduced. You can write on the practical side, on the practice, lawyer fee. And the most important reform, the codification, the codification of laws and all, we call it as a Cornwallis Code. I think 1780 or 84, just sir chudandi, Cornwallis Code year chudandi. Year is not important, but just (1793). So Cornwallis Code. Cornwallis Code. Whatever the reforms, whatever the judicial reforms, revenue reforms, they are called as Cornwallis Code. 1793. Put the heading, the most important thing, land revenue reforms. See, I don't discuss land revenue reforms all the three in one place because permanent settlement is different from Mahalwari and Raitwari, and I think you know, right? Why permanent settlement here? Why not Raitwari and all? So put the heading, land revenue reforms done by Cornwallis. What is the system? Permanent settlement system, right? John Shore and James Grant is the two persons who helped. Who is this John Shore? John Shore is the next governor after Cornwallis. He became the Governor General and he is called as father of non-interventions. They both are the masterminds behind this plan. Okay, sometimes they will ask who helped Cornwallis to make this permanent settlement system. See, initially in 1790s, see, this was initially introduced 1790s. It is fixed for 10 years. Okay, so 10 years they will continue the same way. But 1793 was made permanent. The year is very important. They will ask when permanent system introduced 1793. Here they will ask. Governor General also they will ask. Who helped them also they will ask. Okay, so permanent settlement system features, right? Features of this permanent settlement system. Features, right? First one. Cornwallis introduced the concept of private property. No. That is a debatable question in India. In India, do we have private property or not? But he established it firmly. What it is? Land become property because of Cornwallis. Initially, land is not as much as concerned because initially in India, we don't have the proper records that the entire land, king will be the ruler or the farmer will be the ruler. We don't know. Farmer feels that he is the owner of the land. But there is no evidence of selling the land or mortgaging the land or transferring the land. There is no evidence. What it is? So the whosoever land owners and all should give respect to whom? Cornwallis. He made land as a property. That is why they are giving free, right? If land is not, see, it is not a property. They are giving it as gift. So in ancient and medieval time, we don't have the records that the land is sold to someone. Got it right? If you are selling, it is a property. We don't have a records that land is sold. That is why there is a debate. So some historian says in India, private property exists. Some historian says that king is the owner of entire land. Okay, farmer will have the right until his generations will end. King has the ultimate right. So that is a debatable question. Or some historian says farmer is the owner, king has only nominal suzerainty. But the firmly established, he firmly established the concept of private property. Okay, firmly established the concept of private property. Initially, see, private property, initially there are many jamindars. Initially there are many jamindars. They have not felt this is the owner of the, see, private property, they made jamindars as the owners. Jamindars as the owners of the land. Peasants ఇప్పుడు నువ్వు చెప్పిన దాని ప్రకారం అయితే, if private property in India, who is doing farming in the lands? Peasants only. Then who should become the owners? Got it right. According to the private property concept, peasants should become the owners of the land. But company made whom as the owners? Jamindars, not revenue collectors. Jamindars were made as the owners. So that is why Cornwallis established concept of private property. So jamindars as the owners of the land, peasants are tenants. That is why permanent settlement system is also called as jamindari system. You right? Permanent settlements, that is why also called as jamindari system, because jamindars are the permanent owners of the land. Now, second point. Who are the owners? Jamindars. So who has to pay the land revenue? Who has to pay the land revenue? Jamindars only has to pay, right? How much they have to pay? Fixed one. Got it right? Now see, this land, jamindar is the owner. Who has to pay rent, not rent, revenue to the government? See, there is no mansab, right? Mansab is Mughals time. Got it right? So mansab is a person who has to maintain the army. In maintaining the army, he will get the land and all. This is what the jamindars. See, jamindar, whosoever, whatever you called mansab, jamindar, king, the British East India Company made all them as jamindars. Got it right? If they have huge lands, they were called as raja. If they have compared to less, see, less means don't consider 10 acres, 50 acres. They have villages under their control. Got it right? So they were called as jamindars. All are jamindars. So next, this is a base year. They fixed the base year. 1790 is the base year. Whatever the revenue collected in that year. Suppose this is the land I have. I am the jamindar of this land. In this land, during this year, 10 lakhs revenue collected. 10 lakhs revenue collected. So this is the base year. Base year, how much revenue will collect from this area? 10 lakhs. Out of this 10 lakhs, he has to pay the land revenue 10/11th. To whom? East India Company. Land revenue he has to give to East India Company. Remaining thing is with whom? Jamindar. So this much from 10 lakhs. 10 lakhs ఎలా ఫిక్స్ చేస్తారు? What is the base year? Base year will not change. Got it right? Base year will not change. Out of 10 lakhs, base year will not change because this is fixed, right? Out of 10 lakhs. Because that is the year they calculated, right? I told, right? This is the base year will not change. That is why it is permanent. Suppose నేను చెప్తా చూడు, నువ్వు అడిగిన ప్రకారం ఏంటంటే, సపోజ్ దిస్ ఇస్ 1794. సపోజ్ ఈజీ చేయడం కోసం 9 lakhs ఇలా చదవండి, 10% అనుకుందాం. ఈజీ చేయడం కోసం ఏమన్నా 10%. హౌ మచ్ హీ హాస్ టు పే? 9 lakhs. హౌ మచ్ జమీందార్స్ విల్ గెట్? 1 lakh. Which year? How much total revenue collected? 10 lakhs. Next, 1814. 20 lakhs collected. How much he has to pay to the company? Only 9 lakhs. Only 9 lakhs. This is permanent. It won't change. That is what base year. This is permanent. Whatever he is getting, it is all to Jamindar. Got it right? So that is what the base year fix and all. And next thing, tell me, the rent has to be paid by the Jamindar is fixed. Based on the base year. The rent has to be paid by the foreigners. Is fixed or not fixed? Not fixed. It is based on the whims of Jamindar.
Sir, it was 1914.
1814. Yes.
Our 8 lakhs.
He has to pay 9 lakhs only. It won't change. He has to pay 9 lakhs. It is permanently fixed. Why it is permanently fixed? I told. The company want to have a stable income. The company want to have a stable income. They should know that every year I will get 9 lakhs. So that they will plan. Got it right? And Jamindar will also pay every year 9 lakhs. Suppose you told 1 year he get 8 lakhs. In the next year he thought that he will get 15 lakhs also. So he will pay the 9 lakhs. It won't change. And anyway it is a drawback. I will discuss in the drawbacks. The revenue of the company will not increase. Got it right? If the revenue of the Jamindar increase, it won't increase the company. It is a drawback. But at that point of time, they need to have a fixed income. So that is why they introduced this system. So that is why when the revenue is increasing, the Jamindar's revenue is increasing, company is not revenue increasing. That is why next time they have not introduced the permanent settlement system. Got it right? Clear this thing? Ikkada raandi. The land revenue paid by Jamindar is fixed. The land revenue paid by Jamindar to the company is fixed. Permanent. That is why permanent settlement. The settlement is permanent at a certain amount based on the base year of 1790. Ikkada kinda raindi. Note and bit raindi. Do the land revenue paid by the peasants is fixed?
No.
No. It depends on what? The Jamindar's wish. Although this much detail not important, but you asked, I told you. Clear? First one, concept of private property. Jamindars become the owners. Okay. Now, if Jamindar want, can they evacuate this peasant at any time?
Yes.
Yes. But unofficial rule, as far as he paid the land revenue to the Jamindar, he should not. Got it right? If he is paying the land revenue, he should not. Got it right? So although it is nowhere written, but he should not. Okay. Initial times. Now later gradually they become the owners. Now right. There is a clause, sunset clause. Sunset law. The Jamindar has to pay the land revenue to the company on a fixed date before the sunset. The Jamindar has to pay the land revenue to the company on a fixed date before the sunset. Pay cheyakapothe the Jamindar will lose his Jamindarship. See, in old days you will see villages lo bankers elli they will sit before the sunset. You have to pay the money, otherwise your land will be confiscated. Got it right? Jamindar has to pay the land revenue on a fixed date. If he not paid, what will happen? Jamindar will lose his Jamindar. Then what they will do? They will give it to other Jamindars through auction. Again they will do what? Auction. No, permanent. No, they know that the big Jamindars and all, so they will carve out the land and all. Okay, and mostly their friends and all. That is too much detail. Okay, so there is too much detail not required. Jamindar. So whosoever the small rulers and all, they become the Jamindars and all. Sunset law clear? Next, fourth one. Fourth one, land become saleable. Now land becomes saleable transferred, mortgaged also. Land you can sell, you can transfer, you can mortgage also. Land become property. Land become property. Clear? Who introduced this one? Cornwallis. Who helped? Right. Area introduced. Area. Which area this was introduced? In which area it was introduced? Bengal, Bihar, Orissa. Bengal, Bihar and Orissa. Later in northern Tamil, northern Madras and Varanasi, I think. Okay, so Bengal, Bihar and Orissa. Bengal, Bihar and Orissa. Later I think northern Sarkar, that is northern part of Madras Presidency. Northern Sarkar means Andhra Pradesh coastal region. Andhra Pradesh coastal region, that is the northern part of Madras Presidency. I think another part in North Varanasi. You just cross check. So Varanasi, the territory in that area, small parts only. So overall, see, overall the percentage of permanent settlement system, 19%, the lowest. Raitwari is the highest, 51%. Overall, the three land revenue systems, right? Mahalwari, Raitwari and permanent, this is overall 19% only. Right? Put the heading. What are the advantages that Varanasi, right? What are the advantages that company have? Mirchapalli. I told the drums. Yes, fixed revenue so that they can budget their military revenue, civil expenses, right? First one. First advantage is what? Stable income. Permanent settlement, overall land revenue system that was introduced by Pitt, among them it is 19% only. 51% Raitwari system and remaining I think 29 and all Mahalwari. Right? Advantages, first one, stable income. So they can budget their finance. Any other advantages? You have to think. Any other advantages? Now, a strong supporters that British East India Company got in India. Who are that? A powerful class in India. Now the supporters of British rule are company rule. You're right. Now Jamindars become their strongest supporters in India because they are also getting profit in their exploitation. So that is why Jamindars will become the backbone. Right? Next one, advantage. There is no need of establishing elaborate administration. Right or wrong? The Jamindars will collect. Third point, see they are reducing the expenses cost, right? There is no need to establish an elaborate administration. Just they will collect from whom? Jamindars. No need to go to every farmer, establishing a huge administrative setup and all. So it will reduce the expenses of the company. Clear? Another thing they thought but not happened. They thought that as the Jamindar, yes, agriculture will prosper as the Jamindars become the owners. They will take care of the farmers. So the agriculture will prosper. This is what Cornwallis thought. But did it happen? No. The Jamindars become the rent extractors. Okay, so they just extracting the rent, right? This is also Cornwallis thought, but thought, right? They thought it will. You can write in analysis, like no need, just right. Next, write disadvantages. Disadvantages. See, ఇప్పుడు land revenue fixed కదా. Land revenue is fixed. Will it increase? No. It won't increase. So they fixed high land revenue. As it is fixed, they fixed high land revenue. You right? High land revenue. They fixed high land revenue. Because it won't increase in the future. అప్పుడు ఏమైంది? Pressure on peasants increase. Then it led to peasant revolts. Okay, so it is one of the reason for the peasant revolts. High fixing of high land revenue, pressure on peasants increase. It led to peasant revolts. Peasant revolts. Right? Next one. So the most important thing is development of see, absentee landlordism means now jamindars having huge lands, right? Jamindars having huge lands. They started appointing the sub-jamindars. That is sub-infeudation. Sub-infeudation means big jamindar, under jamindar, there is a small jamindar, under him, there is a worker, under him, collector, then the peasant. What it is? Sub-infeudation. Whatever the jamindar has to pay, okay, he will take from lower jamindars, worker, from collector, from here. All the pressure is on what? Peasants. And this process, in the process, they started extracting as much as. Got it right? So more and more. See, the jamindars who has big villages and all, each village is giving by one jamindar. And they started enjoying in foreign. Absentee, he is not taking care of his peasants and all. Whether revenue, see whether the agriculture is increasing in area or not, they are got it right. Initially, during Mughals time and all, the feudal lords, jamindars, whosoever, they will take care of what? The agriculture and all, so that their revenue will increase. Now what happened? Because the fixed revenue, okay, they have to pay the fixed amount to what? Government. They have huge resources. Now they are enjoying the what? And they started living in urban areas. This absentees, they started living in what? Urban areas. They are going to foreign and they are just enjoying. So this absentee landlordism will impact what? Agriculture. Impacted what? Agriculture. Pressure on peasants what? Increase. So that is what peasant revolts. Got it right? So the early response of British East India Company rule is what? Peasant revolts and tribal revolts. Got it right? So the revenue extraction, the resources extractions impacted tribals. The revenue extraction impacted what? Peasants. So the early response is what? Peasant and tribal revolts. Combinedly they fought is what? 1857 revolt and all. This is one. Next one. Loss of revenue. Third point. Is it right? The future increase of revenue will not reflect in the company's income. Who will benefit? Jamindar will benefit. Loss of revenue in the futures. Right? But whatever, see, there is statistics also in 1818, the revenue collected. See, obviously the prices will increase and the land revenue will also increase from the what? Peasants also. But the actual revenue to the company will not increase. I told just an example that 20 lakhs, if a peasant collect 20 lakhs, he has to pay in how much? 9 only. Jamindar is getting how much? 11 lakhs. Got it? And it is there also. I think in 2024 they have done the statistical reports also. It shows that the Jamindar's revenue is more than the company revenue. Okay, so that is what? Future. That is why did they introduce this permanent settlements in other areas? No, they have not introduced. And there is other reasons also. I will discuss in when they were introduced. Okay, so this is about, now tell me, what is the Governor General's during this time? Main motto is what? Land revenue reforms, judicial reforms. Do they have stable land revenue system?
Yes.
Yes. Who introduced? After Cornwallis, do they has to change?
No.
No need. Continued. Got it right. In this phase, continued. Wellesley continued. Minto continued. Then in the next phase, I will discuss what changes. Next, judicial reforms. Only in which areas? Civil. Books, started writing the books. And Cornwallis, code. Clear? So now, Wellesley. Next Wellesley, what Wellesley has done? Hey, akada just add one point. Cornwallis దగ్గర civil services ఉంది కదా, separation of civil services. Just add one point. Separation of power, he is father of civil services and all. Now collector, right? See, Wellesley అక్కడ రాస్తుంది note. In 1800, Wellesley established Fort William College. Because we are not discussing the Wellesley. Because Wellesley already we discussed. Wellesley is known for subsidiary. We already discussed. Got it right? So Wellesley, no need to do any revenue reforms, no need to do any judicial reforms. So no need to write about Wellesley. Wellesley is only known for subsidiary. Already discussed. అందుకే ఇక్కడ రాశాను నోట్ అని పెట్టి Wellesley established Fort William College. This college is for what?
Civil service.
Training of civil services. This was established in India. But the company not liked about this idea and it was removed in 1888. I think Hasbury college name చెప్తున్నాను 1806. Hailbury, Hailey, Hailbury College, 1806, established in London. Whosoever the civil service servants, they were selected, they give training in which college? Initially, Wellesley thought he should have training in Fort William College, so that he will have the understanding about Indian laws, Indian customs and traditions. But company is not interested in this. Right? Yes, college was removed because see the civil servants who studied in this Fort William College, he was known to the Indian customs traditions and all. Then he will have some mindset to support the Indian people and all. I think there is a person called Thomas Munro. Okay, so Thomas Munro is one of the great person who the Indians will hail him. There are three great persons who still give support, who Indians will still respect. Three people. One is Lord Ripon, like in Andhra Pradesh, three persons. Cotton, Cotton bridge కట్టాడు. ప్రకాశం బ్యారేజ్. ఇంకొకడు థామస్ మున్రో. ఓకే, థామస్ మున్రో is another person who give high respect. See, although all the British governor generals are not like Cornwallis and Thomas Munro was very much want to see. Thomas Munro, Cornwallis contemporaries. Okay, somewhat contemporaries. Cornwallis is known for westernization of
Indian.
But on the other hand, Thomas Munro want to Indianization of administration. He said we should rule according to the Indian laws. But who won? Cornwallis only. And another one is Telugu, contribution to Telugu. Three persons are very important for this Andhra region. Three people still will respect three people. One is Cotton Dora, Sir Cotton, Arthur Cotton. Next one Thomas Munro because of his service to Rayalaseema. Next one Telugu ఎవరైనా అయ్యో Charles C.P. Browns. C.P. Browns is the person, second one who told that Telugu is the Italian of the East. Who is the first person who told Telugu is the Italian of the East? Medieval classes. Chepali. No. So this is about administrative reforms. Put the heading. Foreign traveler. వద్దు మీరు నా పేరు చెప్పడం మానేంచాలి.
Ever said that.
నాకు తెలియదు, మర్చిపోయి, అందుకే మిమ్మల్ని అడిగా. సరే, నెక్స్ట్ హెడ్డింగ్ పెట్టు. So put the heading economic reforms. I will continue in the next class.